Out of all of the reasons that Donald Trump should never be anywhere close to the Oval Office again, this may seem like a minor one, but his volcanic temper, he deserves to be nowhere near the nuclear code button. So I think that, for Americans listening to this and to know that how he reacts so irrationally to things that his own handpicked attorney general is telling him that is the truth. I think that we should let the ketchup be splayed on the walls at Mar-a-Lago, and I'm sure there's plenty of it down there nowadays.
And that is former Trump White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson. She appeared on MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell and described Donald Trump as a volcano who behind closed doors blasts ketchup magma. She says Donald Trump is incapable of controlling himself, erupts often, has splattered the walls of Mar-a-Lago repeatedly, and also hit the walls in the White House. Her assertion that this happened several times during the Trump administration adds a new colorful anecdote to something Hutchinson first said in June of 2022. During testimony in front of the House January 6th Select Committee, Hutchinson described seeing the aftermath of one Trump White House eruption.
There was ketchup dripping down the wall, and there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor. The valet had articulated that the president was extremely angry at the Attorney General's AP interview and had thrown his lunch against the wall, which was causing them to have to clean up. So I grabbed a towel and started wiping the ketchup off of the wall to help the valet out. And he said something to the effect of, he's really ticked off about this. I would stay clear of him for right now. He's really, really ticked off about this right now.
And Ms. Hutchinson, was this the only instance that you are aware of where the president threw dishes?
It's not.
How many more such incidents did you experience there?
There are several, and that's probably being a little too underestimating it a little too much, Lawrence.
There were several incidents, and that's underestimating it. Wow. This is significant because until this point, there was only reporting and allegations about one incident. It revolved around a moment in Trump's last month in office after the 2020 election when Attorney General Bill Barr told the AP and other media that the Justice Department had found no evidence the election was rigged. As Hutchinson described and the media blared into headlines, Trump got so angry, he threw his food and ketchup against a White House wall. But now, Hutchinson is saying this was not an isolated event, and that Trump's behavior is so volatile, he has spattered various walls with ketchup, food, and other things repeatedly. Hutchinson explained that Donald Trump is obsessed with having control over matters that involve him or affect him. As a result, she says Trump wants power only for himself and could care less about the governmental separation of powers articulated in the Constitution.
I think Donald Trump poses an extreme threat to American security and American prosperity. I think that a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a fascist government. I think Donald Trump prioritizes authoritarian rule over rule of law. And yes, Donald Trump has told us who he is for years and years. So for him to even joke about being a dictator, we need to believe what he says.
And Trump said recently to Sean Hannity on Fox that Trump would be a dictator, but only on day one. The Trump campaign says he was being facetious or flippant and humorous, but a lot of people are not laughing. A growing number of legal and constitutional experts fear that Trump would trample over anything that seems to be in his way in a second term, even the rule of law. Keep in mind that during Trump's first term, there were moments when Trump considered taking actions like seizing voting machines and declaring martial law, but got blocked because Trump White House lawyers, members of Trump's cabinet, and their deputies refused to go along. Well, now, according to several reports, the Trump campaign has already assembled a lengthy list of thousands of MAGA fanatics and loyalists who would be appointed to positions across the government, including at the Justice Department and Pentagon, and who would not put up any objections or guardrails on Trump. The goal appears to be for Trump to have people throughout the government whose loyalty will be to him, and that these Trump appointees will do whatever Trump wants, never mind the Constitution and never mind the rule of law. There are some media pundits who have said recently that the fear of Trump trampling on institutions and destroying democracy are overblown, and that America's institutions, including Congress and the courts and the election system, well, they have proven to be stronger than Donald Trump. But looking ahead, if Trump wins and returns to the White House, Trump will be stronger as well, and he will have the benefit of knowing what needs to be changed from the first term for Trump to get his way. And when somebody powerful demands to get their way and has a volcanic and violent temperament, the combination can be horrifying. It's like a toddler out of control, only now, as Hutchinson notes, imagine a toddler in control of nuclear weapons and with the ability to start wars and affect millions of people in one instance. Failed insurrections and splattered ketchup would be the good old days. By the way, in the U.S. House, the nastiness of Republican Virginia Fox from North Carolina is now coming back to bite her. Remember North Carolina Republican Virginia Fox? When a reporter asked Speaker Johnson about his efforts to block the 2020 election, Fox was emphatic.
Speaker Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Will you
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.